everybody. Welcome back. It's another member talk. This is Rob with the Washington State Funeral Directors Association, and I am excited today because we have somebody to join us that you probably all know or at least have heard of. Her name is Jessica Wakefield. Hey, Jessica.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing. How are you doing?
Doing from home, it looks like.
Yeah, I have some days off. I'm taking advantage of the funeral home not having to be involved in the cemetery stuff for Memorial Day for the first time in ever. So
yeah.
I took
well,
some
enjoy
extra
it. Enjoy it. Glad you're able to get some time.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
So I wanted to get Jessica on here with us and introduce her. If you don't know her, she is the location manager down in Renton at Greenwood Funeral Home. She's also our president-elect and will be becoming the president of the Washington State Funeral Directors in August when we have our convention. Keeping our fingers crossed that we have our convention.
Toes and fingers and
that's it. She will be inducted as the new president for a 2-year term. So Jess and I have actually known each other for quite some time, and
according to Facebook, 12 years.
Wow, really that long?
Yeah.
Holy cow!
I know.
Could be 12 minutes, could be 12 years. Who knows?
Who knows?
But I wanted to get you on here and talk about it. You've got some ideas of what you want to see in your presidency, and
we're gonna attempt some stuff. Yeah,
we're gonna see how that works. Tell us a little bit about it. What do you got in mind?
So we have talked a lot about trying to bring in a women's conference in the past, and it's never really worked out. But I think we're going to try and make it happen. At least that's my goal, is to create some type of women's conference before I'm gone out of that presidency role. Even if it's small, something so that all of the female directors that are out there can get together and have a chance to kind of share stories and experiences that we don't always get to share with other people or in larger groups. Kind of creates a different kind of friendship and bonds. And then talking with you guys about trying to find different ways to get people involved as far as different CEU programs, different activities. Doesn't have to always be CEUs. Could just get together and have a good time. So just kind of trying to find a way to kind of keep the morale and people having a good time together versus showing up for CEUs twice a year and convention where, some people go, not everybody, unfortunately. But just kind of create a little more experiences versus emails.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the women's conference sounds intriguing, for sure. We have, actually, if I remember right, you will be the 4th female president of the WSFDA in the 115 years that we've been around. You'll be will you be the first back-to-back? I mean, I know Lisa's our president now. This will be the first time we've had back-to-back female presidents.
Back-to-back.
Yeah. So that's great. We talked a little bit about it and previously about the women's conference, and there's a lot to it, a lot more than I really understood at first. But remind me, what are some of those things that you guys might talk about if this goes forward? I mean, we talked about at one time apparel. How
about apparel, cosmetics, because some people overdo it, some people don't do it at all. There's a happy medium. I don't personally wear a lot of makeup, so for me, I'll find it exciting because I don't even know how to begin with that at all, unfortunately. So when I do it, it's very, very little because I'm not skilled in that area unless you're like laying down and gone. I'm great at that, not on my own. But I also was talking about self-defense situations as well and having somebody kind of coach people about self-defense because unfortunately, as ladies, when we are doing removals at night or in places that aren't exactly the safest neighborhoods or even kind of working services, sometimes you're put in positions that aren't exactly safe. And so knowing how to defend yourself is huge and very important. Should you need to. Let's hope we don't. But just in case, and in personal life too, why not? I mean, it's good to know how to do stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah. The apparel part was the part that really kind of intrigued me, I think, the most out of all of it, because as a guy, I need clothes. I go down to the store. I walk through. I just grab the first thing I see. I try it on. Yeah, it fits. Great. Buy it. And out the door we go. and it's kind of an all-purpose. I can use it for work. I can use it around the house. I don't really consider what females go through to find clothes that are appropriate for work.
Absolutely. And our biggest problem too that we run into is that for some reason, whoever these people are that design women's workwear have no concept of pockets. So that is the biggest issue I run into, because now I've got this bulky Coach key that takes up, like they're huge, those stupid remote ones. I've got my phone that I really need to have. I got to stash my sunglasses somewhere because I'm not going blind. Sorry. Like, I'm going to protect my eyeballs too. Then I got a permit I got to stuff somewhere. And so I'm like, where is all this stuff supposed to go? Like, I don't
forget the casket key you got to carry with you everywhere you
go. So I'm like, so we're working with a couple of different people that are going to help us find brands and companies that actually cater a little bit more to functional women's workwear.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. It makes sense. And I really hope that, we get through this whole time of no meetings, more than 5 people or 10 people, whatever it is, because I'd like to see this go forward. I think it would be very popular, and I think we'd see a lot of people that would like to join it, whether it's, in person or even like we're doing now. So I think it's a great idea.
Look away. My cat's making funny noises.
Uh-oh, that's all right. So you talked about activities and stuff too. What were you thinking? You got some ideas there?
So we've talked a little bit about doing a course in studying for the actual state boards. For those people that don't go to mortuary school, that already have an associate's or beyond that, being able to take that licensing exam and know what to study for. Because I've had a few people that have contacted me in the last few months that said, I studied everything they gave me and I have no idea why none of those questions were on the test, and I failed it and I have no idea where to go now. So I would love to be able to put something together to help those people in those situations so that they have a resource to go to besides just trying to search stuff on the internet and hoping what they find is going to be helpful.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea to get something. Back in my day, it was the Funeral Service Compen book, which I still have, but those questions are 20 years outdated. I guess they're probably not talking much about them anymore.
I have the Compen too, and I could tell you, unless you're taking the national exam, it's not super helpful for that state level one.
Sure.
Because it's too in-depth.
Well, Washington has really experienced a lot in the funeral profession over this last year. We've increased 2 new types of dispositions. We've got all new language in our RCWs and our laws. One of those being crematory operator licensing, which is kind of strange because we've never had that before.
That's neat.
We need to, what do you think of we doing another cremation training class? I mean, we could do all sorts of stuff.
I think we need to be doing those, especially now that the licensing is required and that people are going to have to find some way of taking that course. And I know that there's not a lot of options to do that as far as doing it online either. So I think it's important that we find a way to provide that for everybody at least once a year, if not twice, if we can, especially if we can find a way to do it digitally, through WebExing and stuff like that. So that's something that we definitely are looking at trying to do.
So tell us a little bit about the location you're at. Oops, we got a call coming. Sorry. Had to turn the volume off. My wife's going to be so mad.
Okay, you can tell you're talking to me and then she'll be really mad.
There you go. Tell me about your location. You guys are kind of unique in the fact that you have a funeral home. You have a cemetery.
Yes.
It's not a huge cemetery, but it is a very populated, or not populated, but a popular cemetery with visitors.
Yes. We got our own celebrity because we are the resting place of Jimi Hendrix. Yeah. So if you feel like coming out and saying hi and stopping by to see Jimi Hendrix, you should give me a jingle and say hello. Yeah. It's an interesting thing because he draws a lot of interesting people.
I imagine he does.
Yeah. People come out and jam and with their guitars and hang out and sing songs. And then you got people that come out and have quite a recreational fun time. So, it's all over the board. Really is. But it's kind of a neat experience.
Well, it's a unique cemetery too. I've kind of toured it from over the last few years of being over there. But you got really some, besides Jimi Hendrix and the huge monument that he has. You got
Yes.
some very unique monuments and very unique parts to your cemetery. I noticed that there's a
We have a whole section that's feng shui master designed, and yeah, it's
yeah,
kind of interesting stuff. Yeah, it's a
it's
beautiful
really
park.
cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I've seen, and you've got some of those glass. Are they called glass headstones? I don't know what you even call them, but I've seen those in your cemetery that just solid glass and engraved, and 4, 5, 6 inches thick. So,
They're weird.
do you still call them headstones, or are they called
Yeah.
something else?
No, they're definitely headstones. They go on the head, right? So that's kind of what we're talking. Yeah.
There
Until
you
we come
go.
up with a super creative word, I guess that's what it's going to stay.
Yeah. Well, interesting. Well, yeah, I love having you on here. Looking forward to your presidency. Um,
Oh, yay!
it's going to be, well, it's been a long time coming. You've been on the board now for quite a number of years, and you've kind of
Years.
worked your way through the board chairs and then eventually into the executive committee. You've been a part of a lot of the major decisions that have been made over the last 4 or 5 years. So thank you for your service in doing that.
Oh, my pleasure. It's those moments where you're like, I'm going to be involved and help out and be a part of something. And then you get involved and then you're like, whoa, this is a lot of stuff. But then you're kind of already in it. And so you're like, okay, I'm just going to keep doing it because I enjoy it a lot. I've met a lot of really great people, made a lot of amazing relationships. And I still to this day get phone calls from people in different areas of the state that I've met at conventions and meetings. And they say, hey, I got this family that's over there. Can you help us? So, that's kind of the whole point, right? Like, so you can make those connections and know who you're calling when you're calling somewhere that you don't have a funeral home or, need help, which is kind of a big deal.
Oh, it absolutely is. Being a part of the board, yes, it is work, added work, volunteer work.
Volunteer work.
But
yeah.
on the other hand, you get to experience something that you don't get to experience anywhere else. I mean, we're kind of on the front lines as what's happening at the state level. We're kind of on the front lines of what's happening on the national level. So it's really a lot of fun, and we're kind of hyping it up here because I will point out that we do have 2 positions coming open. So put our plug in there for if you want to be a board member, send us your nominations. We're gonna.
No, it's a lot of fun. It is. It's work, but it's a lot of fun. We do have a great group. We have a lot of fun when we are together. There's a very business side to it for the, portion that needs to be the business side. And then after that's done, we have a lot of fun together. So It's good.
Well, and you get to know people. You mentioned it about the relationship building. Besides the people that you meet just traveling around, you really get to become really good friends with the people that you travel around with.
Yeah.
For the last number of years, you and I have done district meetings together all over. And so you might have seen some of our past Facebook Live pictures or videos of us goofing around at the district meetings. This year's going to be a little different, or at least this time's going to be a little different, though, for our district meetings. We're going to do a virtual meeting.
I just want to be like, hello, hug.
Yeah, well, we got to do it kind of, there you go, something like that.
Good gosh, it's so weird because normally you and I see each other at least every other month or so, just between meetings and different stuff that's going on. And I haven't probably seen you since, February, January in that window. It's been a while.
I haven't changed any.
Yeah, okay. You might get a little shorter.
Well, you're going to join us for our district meetings for sure. You're going to be one of our panelists or one of our hosts, so you'll be on there. We'll all get to talk with you. It's going to be an interesting one because we've never really had a meeting like this. So
I'm a little excited / nervous because we have not done one this way, but I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, it is. And hopefully just sending out the invites to everybody, they all went out because Not before. So we'll
I
figure
got
it
it.
out.
So hopefully that means that it went. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah.
It should be good.
But the good news is this, because it's virtual, because it's a first time, because of how we're doing it, it is free to anybody and everybody that wants to participate. It's for our members. It's for our non-members. It's for the general public that watches this that says, hey, what's a district meeting about? Let's check it out. We've got some, it's going to be kind of fun because we do have a new person that's going to be with us. I don't want to really let the cat out of the bag just yet, but it's a new supplier that has a very unique way to use the cremated remains. So that'll be kind of fun. And then we're going to have our friends from Department of Licensing join us as well, because we really do need to get updated on everything that's happened.
Many changes.
Like I say, this last year with law changes, with new dispositions, with new death certificates talked about, and then everything put on hold for COVID. I mean, it's been a crazy year.
I'm over it. I'm ready to go back to. Yeah, I mean, it should have been a sign when the freaking fireworks didn't go off on the New Year's Eve. Like, it should have just been a sign that this is just going to roll downhill bad. But it is what it is. We'll make it through it. But it's just, very frustrating because, I mean, we're all dealing with this on our own personal level of, like, being stuck at home. Some of us, like I'm, as essential workers, most of us aren't, but a lot of our spouses are. So, like, my husband has been stuck at home for 8 weeks and he's going insane. So when I do get home from work, he's like, yay, people. And I'm like, please stay away from me. I'm so tired. But, it is what it is. But then we also have the factor of, like, we're dealing with all these families that, God bless them. Losing somebody in this whole situation is just awful. Losing somebody in any situation is awful. And then you add this impact of, like, not being allowed to do services, and then now you can have 5 people, and now you can have 10 people, and depends on your chapel, now you can have 15, and it's like it's just so difficult. And, like, how we walk through that has just been amazingly challenging. It surprises me how challenging, but yeah.
Well, and it's different for everybody because, like you said, some people can have 5 people in a chapel, some people 10, some people 20. The way that it's been issued, the way the proclamation's been issued, there's no set number. It's as long as they're immediate family and practice social distancing, you never know.
Yeah.
So some people might be able to only have 2, some people 20. I mean, it just depends on your building. So
it's just bananas.
Yeah. Well, they say hindsight is 20/20, but at this point, I don't know that I want to look back at 2020.
No.
Let's move to 2021. Let's just hit fast forward.
I'm ready for you. Like, let's
go.
I know there's so many things that we had planned and stuff we were going to do, and now it's just kind of like, meh. We have to put it all off and wait, and
I know the fun thing is we got these cool new color changing cups. Can you see those?
I am so excited about these.
We got these to be able to give these out to people.
At district.
And I'm the only one that gets to experience them. I got a huge box of them sitting in my office, ready to go, ready to give out, and I can't give them to anybody because I can't go see no one. So as soon as we get there, guess what's coming to you, folks? A brand new, cool-looking, color-changing cup. They change colors with the coldness, so you'll love them. You might also notice behind me we still got masks and gloves if you're in need. So call. Let us know.
Please.
So
we're here to help.
Yeah. Well, Jess, thanks for joining. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for taking time out of your super busy day at home.
I went to Costco.
There you go. It's always fun.
No, but it has to be done.
Yeah. Hey, Costco is always exciting. Go get a second mortgage before you go because you're going to need it.
I know. Well, I don't have 2 sets of twins, so I really don't have that problem.
Yeah, that does take up a lot.
It's under 200 every time, but still, it's chaos there right now. It's just chaos.
Yeah.
People just
It is kind of everywhere, I think. It's just people doing kind of their own thing. Some people following what the TV says, some people not. Some people, it's
I
political. It's
literally
just
saw a guy
crazy.
with a respirator on and big, huge yellow rubber gloves, and then a freaking shower curtain taped around his neck to protect his clothes. I was just like, what is
That's
going
awesome.
on here? What is going on? I'm like, that doesn't help you if you, it's all about how you put it on and take it off, right? Like, you can't just, yeah, it was quite entertaining as I'm like gloveless and like, I have the mask because I have to, because you have to, but otherwise I'm just kind of like, you guys.
The shower curtain. That's what got me. That's funny. I want to see that.
It was hilarious.
Well, I'll have to come visit. I want to see where the shower curtain people are.
They're here at Costco.
There you go. All right. Hey, Jess, I'm going to let you go. We're kind of going a little long, but happy to have you on here. Thanks for joining us. How do we get in touch if we want to talk to you more?
You can email me at jessica.wakefield@dignitymemorial.com.
Awesome.
It's
So if you want to reach out to Jessica, give her an email, give her a shout out. She'll be on there. Hey, if you like these things, you want to be a part of Member Talks, call me, email me. If you want to watch more, you can check them out on our website, wsfda.org. You can subscribe on YouTube, like us on Facebook, all that fun stuff. So till next time, we will see you guys. Thanks for being here.